Our series of interviews with the candidates for mayor continues this morning. We have mostly been looking at the crowded race in the Democratic primary, but there are some independent and Republican candidates also trying to get some of the attention in these early months of primary season. A lot of that attention's been directed toward Andrew Cuomo and Eric Adams lately. One of the candidates in the mix as an independent is attorney Jim Walden, who has labeled himself a centrist, looking to bridge ideologies from across city politics. He has experience in government and law, having served as an assistant U.S. attorney in the Eastern District. He has also represented some high profile clients, ranging from the City Housing Authority to UFC fighter Conor McGregor. Jim Walden joins me now. Good morning.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
This city has not had a great recent history of candidates who don't have a lot of experience in government in previous elected office. What brings you to this race at this time?
Well, good ideas are contagious, and that's why I'm breaking through. But when it comes to safety, when it comes to affordability, when it comes to education, I've been studying those issues through the litigations that I've filed. I understand the issues. I've got ideas that are going to move us forward, and that's really what people want. They want hope, and they want someone to move them forward and stop the blood sport of politics that we've been seeing for years. And that's why I decided to run.
And doing so as an independent is another difficult path, especially if you don't have Mike Bloomberg style money. Why that choice?
Because I looked closely at the options, and the Democratic field is crowded with career politicians, and I'm not one of them. And that's exactly what people want right now. They want someone who is going to fight to do their job, right? To get the trains running on time, to get the buses running on time, to make the streets safe, to bring down egg prices. They want someone who's dedicated to doing the job, not just enjoying the job. And these career politicians, that's what you can expect from them. When you make bad choices, you're going to have bad policy.
So there has not been a ton of polling in this mayor's race. The polling that there has been has quite decisively shown Andrew Cuomo in first place among people's first choices in ranked choice voting. Ranked choice voting is a wild card that we're not all entirely comfortable with making predictions on. What do you think your strategy is to try to come up from that number, which is a distant number in terms of first round choices? How can you pick up support here and there to try to rise up as we go through the successive rounds?
So that's a great question, but the good news is it's already happening. There was the Emerson poll was just released. It's the first poll from November, and I broke through. I'm only 7% behind Adams. Adams has been in office. He's got tons of name recognition, and for me only being 7 points behind him in the first poll for November was huge for my campaign, and it's just an indication that people want something different.
Yeah, it should be clear that the primary is the first ranked choice. I don't want to confuse all of those things there as I ask that question. When you look at the voices of New Yorkers and coming back to you with concerns about public safety, we have some numbers this morning that crime was down in the first quarter this year compared to last year. The NYPD appears to be delivering some results, but you have made it clear that you think there's too much politics in policing in New York City. What do you mean by that?
So I think that police need support from the city hall, and they're now starting to get it. Remember, we've had 4 police commissioners in 2.5 years. That's ridiculous. We have a record low in the number of police officers. We have age limits on cops who can serve, even though we need more cops. So City Hall needs to support the NYPD and give officers what they need to do their jobs. And that's what people want. We need more cops, we need to retain them, and then we need better policing strategy. We shouldn't have had to wait for almost 3 years of the Adams administration to finally get a commissioner who knows how to do her job and can come up with innovative strategies. So hats off to Jessica Tisch.
We have seen so many politicians in this city trying to do a dance on congestion pricing. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing?
Yeah, I've been super clear about this. I don't dance around any issues. So congestion pricing, I agree with the goals of it. Lower congestion, lower carbon. Who can disagree with that? But it was a terrible program the way that it was rolled out. I mean, it was delayed for political purposes, and then the number was cut arbitrarily. You got to start with planning, carrots, then sticks. right? We should have had better planning around this before it was rolled out. We should have tried giving drivers incentives to get out of their cars rather than whacking them with a regressive tax. And if we were going to go with a tax like congestion pricing, it should have been phased in slowly with lots of exceptions for public workers.
Problems aside, and it's not the mayor's choice, but would you advocate that it remain in place at this point?
I would scrap congestion pricing in its current form, and I would do what I said, which is I'd start with planning, then I'd go to incentives to get drivers out of their cars, which includes safe subways and buses that run on time. Why force drivers out of their cars when we can't even give them the transportation that they deserve? And only then, if those two things didn't work, would I consider some form of, let's call it congestion pricing light, where we have a program that is fair, has lots of exceptions for people that need it.
Good to have you on this morning to hear about your campaign. Thank you.
Thank you.